Now, when I first started my sales career, one of my main roles was to generate appointments with my dream customers. Now, the challenge I had was how exactly was I supposed to do this especially if they had no idea who I was, they didn't really know my products or services, how can I get a complete stranger to take time out of their day to take a meeting with me? And so what I did was I asked around the office, people who had more experience than me, and I said, hey, how am I supposed to even get these meetings? And a lot of times I would get these vague answers like, oh, give them a cold call or send them a cold email. But they didn't really show me exactly step by step how I was supposed to do these activities in order to generate that meeting. And so what I did was I put in hours, right? I went on Google and I just searched up, how to write a cold email, how to send LinkedIn messages, and I, watch all these videos. And so what I did is I tried all these things. Most of these strategies I found online didn't really work, but after trial and error and sending hundreds and thousands of emails and LinkedIn messages, some things actually did work, and I was able to start scheduling meetings. And before I knew it, my calendar just started to blow up with meeting after meeting after meeting once I figured out the right strategy. And so what I want to do for this video is I want to share some of my best strategies when it comes to cold emailing and sending LinkedIn messages, because these strategies, although different, they have the same fundamentals. And I've taught these strategies to thousands of students around the world. So one of my students, Benjamin, who went through some of my training, he said I was able to book a meeting with Singapore Airlines. After just 2 weeks of trial, this was my first time in my sales career I've had the opportunity to meet such a huge client. Thank you for the help. So like I said before, these are gonna be some of the best cold email and LinkedIn strategies to get meetings with your potential clients, right? If Benjamin, who just started doing cold emails, was able to get a meeting with Singapore Airlines, which is a huge company, I'm confident that these strategies will also work for you if you apply them in the right way. And you wanna make sure you watch this video until the end, because if you miss out on these strategies, you're gonna spend so much of your time spinning your wheels, trying things out, and a lot of things don't work when I can actually just give you the shortcuts right here. What's going on, everybody? My name is Patrick Dang. Before we get started, make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications if you want to see more videos like this. Now let's go ahead and get started. Specifically for this video, we're going to talk about outbound lead generation strategies using cold email and LinkedIn messages. Like I said before, although these are different platforms, the fundamental strategies of how you write your messages and how you go about finding your potential customers are exactly the same. So whether you're doing LinkedIn or cold email, just know these strategies will work either way. Now, the first question you got to ask yourself when you're doing any type of outbound prospecting, meaning you're reaching out to people who have no idea who you are, is you want to answer the question of who. Who exactly do you want to reach out to? Who exactly do you want to serve? And who exactly would be a great fit for your product or service? Then the problem that most people have when it comes to sending out their messages is that they'll write these long messages on everything that they do, right? So they'll reach out to a potential customer and they don't really have a specific use case, and they'll just say, hey, we could do this, we could do this, we could do this, we could do this. Let me know which one fits you. And the problem with that is that when someone reads your message and they see all these different options of things you can do, it's very fatiguing, right? You're making the prospect do too much work in reading your message and trying to figure out how they can work with you. Instead, you want to reverse the situation where you make it extremely clear on why the prospect should work with you, right? Don't write out every possible service that you can provide. Narrow it down into one specific use case that someone can really think, oh, this is exactly what I need. And once you get that aha moment, that's when people are going to start responding to your cold messages. So the best way to do this is to identify a pain, right? What's a specific pain someone experiences and how do you solve it? So the next thing you got to understand is what exactly is your core offer, whether it's a product or service, right? So if you provide so many different solutions, you really have to narrow it down to one specific use case that another company can say, that's exactly what I need. So let's go ahead and give you an example. So let's say you have an app development agency, meaning that you provide a service where a big company can outsource app development because maybe they don't want to do it themselves. So if you reach out to a lot of big brands, like let's say, for example, Mattel, which is Barbie and Hot Wheels, let's say you want to reach out to them. If you say, hey, Mattel, I provide this service, I can make a game for you, I can make an app, I can make this, I can make that, they're gonna read that and be like, well, we're not really looking for any of these, so I'm just gonna ignore your email because you're providing too many different solutions that I don't actually need. But instead, if you narrow it down and you're really specific on what kind of problems you solve and you do your research on what type of problems, let's say Mattel, which is Hot Wheels and Barbie, are experiencing, then they're gonna respond to your cold message. For example, if you know that Mattel and Hot Wheels have a big brand, but they don't know how to develop games for the App Store, and they don't have a development team, but that's something they want to do because they want to monetize their brand in different ways, you can write a cold message and you can say, hey, look, you guys are a big brand, you're killing it with the toys and everything like that, but have you guys ever thought about developing a game around your IP, your intellectual property, and take advantage of so many people on mobile and playing games on mobile these days? Once you ask that question, you kind of share that you provide a solution that you can make a game specifically for them using their IP, and you're a master at monetizing an audience, meaning that when people download the game that you're gonna make for them, you really know how to monetize that audience and make money from the actual game. So you're not just making a game, but you're actually creating a new type of business. So that's a lot more appealing, right? It's very specific for that use case, and if you know they have that problem, they're a lot more likely to take your meeting. And you wanna compare that to, let's say if you said, I can make a game, I can make an app, I can do this, I can do that. When you provide too many solutions, people tend to not want to do any work and they're not gonna take a meeting. But if you provide a specific solution around the pain they have, then that's how they're gonna take your meeting. So that's the who, right? Who exactly are you gonna serve, and how exactly are you gonna provide value so that they're gonna take your meeting? Now, the next question that you need to answer is why. Why exactly should somebody take your meeting, and why should they do it right now, right? Because you need to have some type of sense of urgency. If people don't have a reason to take a meeting today, then they're just gonna be like, oh, this sounds interesting, but let me just follow up in a month or 6 months down the line when I'm ready. And that's what you don't want to happen when you're sending your cold emails, because even if someone's not ready, you wanna get on the phone with them to see whether or not it's a good fit. And if it's a good fit, you continue to build that relationship so one day in the future, when they are ready, they're ready to buy. But if you never get that phone call or that meeting, then you don't have that relationship to even begin the selling process. When it comes to why, you really wanna focus on two things. Why now, and what value you provide. So let's go ahead and talk about why now. So let's say for the example of you're selling an app development service to a company like Mattel. Again, that's like Barbies and Hot Wheels. So why exactly do they need to create a mobile game now? So one reason might be because mobile is on the rise, everybody's on their phones, and more people are starting to use their phones even more than computers. So obviously if everybody's on their phones, having a mobile game where you can monetize is especially lucrative in this time period right now. And the earlier you are in developing these games and putting it out into the market, the less competition there will be, and the more traction you'll get, and the bigger your brand will become on mobile, and the more money you will make in the long term. So if you don't do it now, if you don't make these mobile games right now, other people are going to beat you out, right? Other brands are gonna come in and take your spot. And if you decide to make a game in the future, well, you have to compete against all this competition. But if you do it right now, it's blue ocean and you have a special advantage, and you have a big brand so you can start dominating the market. So that might be a reason for why you wanna convince someone to take a meeting right now versus in the future. And if they realize that they wanna take advantage while this opportunity is hot, then they're gonna take your meeting to see exactly how exactly you might be able to help them develop this app and develop this game for their customers. So now you understand why now, but what's the value? Well, like I said before, the value is that first mover advantage. You're gonna make money, you're gonna make your customers happy, and you're gonna build your brand outside of toys, and you're gonna build it within the digital space, which is on the rise. So that's gonna be a reason for why a brand like Mattel might want to work with another company to get started faster. They may not want to develop these games by themselves because that's not their expertise, right? Their expertise is making toys and things like that, but they have the IP, and they have the brand, and they just need someone to build the app, and that's where another outsourced provider or agency comes into play. So once you wrap all these things together, right, you know your who, you know your what, and you know your why, and you put that on your cold email or your LinkedIn message, then suddenly people are gonna want to respond. And the reason why people will not respond to your messages is because if you don't answer these questions, right? So if people don't respond, you just have to figure out which part is broken, replace it, fix it, and then try again until you get the winning formula that works to sell your specific product or service. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Let me know in the comments what some of your biggest challenges are when it comes to generating appointments with your dream clients, whether you work at a company or you have your own business, because I'm always interested to hear your challenges so I can make videos around how I can help. And if you want to see more videos about cold email or sending LinkedIn messages, I actually have another video right here on some of my best cold email templates. Make sure to check that out. And if you want a free in-depth training on how to sell anything to anyone, I got another free training on exactly how you can do that. Click the link in the description to take you there. So with that said, my name is Patrick Dang. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one.